So, guy got scrolling on the Facebook Marketplace, and, you know, I was just bored, and happened to see this three-wheeler pop up. It was a, what is it? It's an 83 Honda ATC200. If I know how to edit, I'll throw up a picture of it. But the thing looks pretty damn clean. He put his phone number down in the strip and down in the description there, so you know he's legit. So my camera took a crap there, but yeah. So I'm on my way down to Traverse. Gotta buckle my seatbelt. Gonna go pick this thing up. Hopefully, he wants $500 for it. Plastics look like they're in really good shape. Can't really tell from the photos, but I mean, it was outside, but according to him on the phone, thing was garage kept its whole life, always dealer maintained. If he has any paperwork for that, I mean, that'd just be fucking cherry, but you know, I mean, most of the time people throw that shit away because they can't read them. But yeah, so I mean, it don't run, because why would it? But it's a Honda, so that means that it's probably gonna run, or it's probably just gonna end up getting pushed back behind my shed like all the other projects. So yeah, you know, I really don't have the money to spend on this thing, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it anyway, because you know, that's just the way she goes. All right, so I'll show you guys. There's the derelict pile of shit here. It's actually in really good shape. There's like no rust in that tank. The motor's clean. I mean, you know, you can see a couple little wear spots on the side cover there, but that's no big deal. Air filter looks good. I wasn't expecting this, but it actually is the original freaking toolkit, so that's pretty cool. There's some gas in that oil. Didn't really look. Might be the original carb on there. I didn't really look though. Looks like someone had replaced some parts there in the ignition system, so I'm going to be looking in that, because it looks like it has very weak to no spark, so gotta look into that. But it turns over and everything. The rear fender, it's in the back of my truck. I can show you guys. Rear fender's a small crack. Front fender's fucking mint, so that's cool. Seats all sorts of fiddle fucked, but you know, just throw a seat cover on it. Plastics are really nice. It's OEM Honda. It's got a little crack there that someone just put on some fucking duct tape. That's no big deal. So yeah, hoping she'll be a runner. I'm gonna get a good look at her later, and yeah. So Dimitri, what did we find? We found that it did have spark after all, for whatever reason. I have no idea how it did. So it had spark. And now what? We gotta pull up this carb, which that's just a fuck ton of 10mm bolts in there.
Do you know if you're getting fuel?
Oh, I'm totally not getting fuel, dude. That thing hasn't. I mean, A, there's like no gas in there. B, I guarantee that carb is full of varnish. There you go. See if you can lift that out of there. Hang on. There's another hose down here too. Dimitri, another hose down here. We gotta undo. Give me a, it's like a number 2 Phillips. Bad gas. Get drained. Oh yeah. Look at that. It's like radioactive horse piss. Only thing I don't really like about these 185s. Oh, that's another thing. I lied. It's not an ATC. It's not a ATC 200. It's the ATC 185, 185s. So it's like the same thing, really. So yeah, just pulled off the carb. Oh, that gasket's all flattened. So that's probably gonna leak air. So I'll probably have to get new O-ring there. As you saw, curious what the inside of this bowl looks like, because that gas was definitely bad. So yeah, so there's like a bunch of junk down there and whatnot. As far as the top here, it doesn't look horrible. It's the original carb, so that's cool. doesn't look horrible, but that jet there is probably gonna need to get pulled off. I mean, I'm gonna pull it all off. Float height might be okay, but I really don't know. I'm just gonna find out the hard way. Yeah.
With the hybrid file, seen that a lot of times. This is copy of that, I gotta look. But I'm looking at 22 students in size class. You gotta break that up somehow, don't we?
Yeah, there's still a couple that are on the way too, aren't there?
I have no idea. It is, but I don't know what's going on.
So the pilot jet, I have no idea, but it's like it's defective or something because it's just completely sealed off. I've been trying for like 3 hours to try to get this thing unclogged with little pieces of wire from like a wire brush and soaking it in carb clean. I'm getting impatient, so I'm just gonna drill the fucking thing out, and if that don't work or whatever, I'll just, you know, spend $10 on Scamazon and get a new one. So yeah, I'm gonna clamp this thing in the vise and just give her all the way. All right, so here I am, like 15 seconds later. Now that I just ruined this jet, I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the carburetor and put it all back together and, you know, whine and cry about how it don't work right. But, you know, that's just the way she goes.
That's the way she goes. That's the way she goes? That's right. That's the way she goes.
Oh.
The next day.
So, back at the shop. Gonna have to tear back into it. Got a new carb. It's actually a Keehan carb, not a Chinese one. So, took it apart. That one has a 38 pilot jet. This one is a 35. Or, well, it did until I reamed it out. But hopefully there won't be a huge difference. I'm really hoping I can just bolt it on there and it'll run great. But with my luck, it probably won't even run at all, so I'll probably have to tune that thing or yank it back apart or something. Hoping for the best here. Gonna start taking it off. I also noticed that the petcock only works in the on position. When you put it in reserve, it won't flow. So I'm thinking, I mean, I got like replacement ones at my house, so I'll just throw in a new one when I get home. Then we got all back together. The fuel line that I had just found on the ground turns out to be a little bit too big, even when you zip tie it to make it the right size. So I found some other fuel line. This is a 3/16, and I believe that's 1/4 inch. So this shouldn't leak. Shouldn't. It's probably gonna leak. Drove all the way home. Got new, shiny new petcock on there. Trying to get the tank mounted back up. Then try to run it. And I also put some little ball bearings in here with just whatever gas was in it, shook around just in case there any was like loose junk or rust or something in there. I could kind of stir it up, and then I drained it all out. I didn't get anything out, so yeah, I don't know. Hopefully it's gonna be good though and it won't clog, because I was looking in here, I don't really have enough room to run like an inline fuel filter, otherwise I would. Oh well. All right, moment of truth here. Choke is on, fuel's on. Kill switch is on.
Goddamn son of a bitch. Son of a bitch.
The coil is bad, and then we thought that little CDI box was bad too, but it turns out I guess it's not bad because it kind of runs now. Actually, let's see, because with my luck, it's probably lost spark again. No, there we go. Yeah, I just found a coil off an Arctic Cat. It seems to kind of fit on there. You don't got to worry about that second bolt. Pretty good now. I'm working on the brakes now. Gonna do the hand brake part delete, because I don't understand why there's two brakes. It's just fucking stupid. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead, just did the delete on that one till I get more parts for it. I got a new cable for the foot brake, so I'm gonna hook that up now. Then I should be able to take you guys on a ride. Oh, gotta lower the idle a little bit. Found my first big problem. The one, it's probably gonna need an oil change, if there's any oil in it. I don't give a shit. It doesn't sound like there is. Then my brakes. I went to hit the brake pedal, and yeah, that just fucked right off. So I'm gonna have to fix that. Looks like maybe just this spring here just decided to let go. Don't need to worry about that though. Well, I got it back to the shop. Ended up taking off this wheel and hub, just both. There's a little cotter pin, this guy right here, a little castellated nut, and then a washer, which I already lost. That's awesome. How did I already lose that? But yeah, and then I just slid the whole thing off, and I'm working. There's, I think, 6 10mm bolts to get this brake drum off. I'm basically just gonna pull this thing off and, you know, make sure I actually do have lining on the brake shoe and that I'm not just metal on metal, and try to loosen up that thing there so I can actually stop. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do now. Okay, so now that we got that thing off there, I'm gonna go have to get off this the jam nuts that hold on the drum. This is a part where all this brake dust here that's asbestos, you just wanna yeah, you just want to inhale that. It's good for your lungs. Yeah, no, don't do that. I don't have a wrench or anything that's big enough for that, so I got this magical any size wrench. I found it on the side of the road, so it should do the trick. Just get on there like that and just crack them loose. All right, so once you get your jam nuts off there, you're just gonna want to get your hammer and you just... Okay, so finally got that fucking thing off. There's this like a rubber O-ring or something. You're probably gonna want to find some way to get that out before you pull that off, because if you're anything like me and you're a goddamn moron, you're gonna end up pulling that over this, and it's gonna like not come off, and you're gonna wonder why, and then it's gonna finally, you know, get to the point where it just slips over this, and you're like, oh, okay, there's an O-ring on there. So yeah, you're gonna want to have to do with that. Looks like I actually have pretty good life on my shoes here. For me, my main issue was that pivoting mechanism right there is really fucking seized on this thing. Well, it's not that seized because I can move it by hand, but it's seized enough to the point where the brakes just stick. You don't want that. So I'm gonna try to lube up that, and hopefully it'll work. So after just wasting like an hour of my life and lubing everything up and getting it all back together, gonna put on these jam nuts. You see all that mud in there? You don't worry about that. It's like Loctite, you know. It just keeps the jam nuts from going anywhere. I think I'm putting this together right. I don't know or really care. All right, so I got everything back together. All those bolts and everything torqued. Those jam nuts are on. Cotter pin engaged. Oh, really? That's fucking annoying. Well, guys, back for part 2. That 3-wheeler, I got it all back together. That's the same one you guys saw in the last video. Since then, the headlight fell off, so notice you can actually see the little plastic screwing part down there. That broke, so I found a new one on eBay for like 20 bucks, so I just ordered that. Seat cover finally came in, so I'm working on that now. All you gotta do is, there's these little metal triangles, and I'm really thankful because this is a metal seat pan, and normally these like to get really rusty and rot out, and then you know, you can't do anything about it because it's just rotted out and there's nothing to even put a new seat cover on. But this one's actually in really nice shape. All you gotta do is you gotta find the little triangle bits there and you bend them all up or out, and then you just rip off the old seat cover. Okay. Now that I'm recording, it's a lot harder, but yeah, you just pull off the old thing and kind of poke on the new one or something like that. I'm not really sure. So I got this old piece of crap off. Here's the foam. It's in really good shape, actually. Aside from a little bit of rottage, kind of goes down a little bit, but it's no biggie. I have this foam air filter that I actually had to cut part of it. Actually, it was the air filter I ordered for this thing. When I got it, it was a little bit too long, but I just cut it, and you can see I did a really quality cut job there. I just cut it, and I had this little bit left over, so I cut it in half. And this yellow part here, when I lay it on top, it seems to perfectly fill up this gap, which is still kind of sticky from all the duct tape that was on there. So, you know what? That's gonna be perfect. It's gonna be like museum quality when I'm done. I'm kidding, this is gonna look like shit. So what I've been doing here is kind of get the seat to kind of stretch over, and there's a couple spots I had to cut because it was just pulling it really tight. But I did that, and then you poke through the little triangle there, and then you just gotta kind of go like that, and then once the triangle's fully poked through, I just get the end of my flathead, just smash her down good. Just like that. I did that like umpteen hundred times going all the way around. The thing actually looks, you know what? It turned out all right. I thought it was gonna look horrible because this is my first ever seat cover I'd done. Especially because I heard it was a metal pan. I know with the plastic ones, I'm under the impression that you got to use like a staple gun or something. I don't got one of those, so you know I kind of butchered it together, but it turned out all right. You know, you don't even look at the bottom, so it's gonna look nice.